It is a great day to be alive, and I am so thankful for God, Jesus Christ, who lives in us. Today's video is titled March 19th, What Actually Happened? We're going to be looking also at BNB Tiger and Luna, more of that combo confirmation as we get into this video. Before we get started, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing that I'm sharing is financial advice. I'm simply sharing dreams, visions, and interpretations that I feel God has given me as it relates to crypto. Now let's get into the video. Now, I added a new person to this timeline of events here. I added Japan's Prime Minister. I don't know how I forgot to add her. If you guys remember back on December 5th, I made this video talking about Luna and Japan and the carry trade and the connection that I was making as far as Luna's timeline with the market crash. So she was added there. And as we continue to go throughout this video, you will see more of her. So in case you missed it, here are those Luna only videos. And there you'll see that was the first one, followed by Luna and the Bee Sting, followed by Luna Mama, followed by the video about Macron. And I have here circled January 24th. That was important. That was a derived date that used to be on our timeline. It involved the Prime Minister, as well as events coming out of Minnesota. All of these things were on the timeline back then. It was very short. Again, here, Japan Prime Minister, Minnesota, and Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar. And the only date that I had during that time was April 6th through the 7th. That was pulled from the Luna Bee Sting dream. And again, Japan Prime Minister is on here because of that very first Luna video that I did on December 5th, making the first connection between Luna and Japan. And so as we move throughout this video, you're going to see how all this ties in and why it's relevant to go back and take a quick look at this date of January 24th and what makes it relevant to what we're going to talk about as it relates to March 19th. So really quickly, after the Luna Mama dream, the date of January 24th was derived. After doing my research, a lot of that I found had to do with Omar. Everything pointed to her based on this dream. It was a Luna dream, and that's how she connected to Luna. And because her involvement in Minnesota is along with Tim Walz's involvement with Minnesota, again, we first pinpointed Tim Walz with Luna back with the Luna Bee Sting dream. And now we have confirmation looking at how this Luna Mama dream points to Omar. And so here on January 23rd, I did a video with Macron, more confirmation confirming that this dream was about Luna. Again, here you can see on this slide that the topic was about Minnesota. We're looking at things about Japan, the date of January 24th, looking to see what was going to take place. Are we going to hear news about Japan, news about Minnesota? And then on January 24th, we did hear major news out of Minnesota. I do want to point out that Trump went on True Social and made a post pertaining to the event that took place in Minnesota. He also mentioned Ilhan Omar as far as monetary fraud within that same post as well. And so again, these events, we're looking for a conclusion to these events or major changes. And this brought about major change. Major change, in fact, we see that Kristi Noem was fired. She was the chief of DHS, as well as Greg Bavino announced his retirement the other day. He was the main person that was in Minnesota when this all took place. As a result, we're looking at a partial government shutdown as it relates to Homeland Security. And then recently I saw an article talking about ICE officers will be assisting TSA as shutdown frustrates travelers and screeners. This is a major change. So yes, January 24th brought us news out of Minnesota, but it also brought us news out of Japan. So to see this news coming out of Japan on January 24th, this derived date, this came as confirmation. Well, what happened? Well, the Prime Minister dissolved the House of Representatives, triggering a snap February election. And this event was a major change. And so now let's keep moving. This brings us to the honey pool. The honey pool is where we got this date of April 19th from. In case you missed it, just really quickly, in this dream, I was scraping honey off of a honeycomb, a large chunk of honeycomb, and I was adding it to this pool that was full of honey. I was standing on the edge of this pool, scraping and adding. Well, after this dream, I went to do research on the honey pool, and I came across this video game. This video game called Terraria. And this game, the name of this game, I talked about how the creator talked about why he named it this way and the breakdown that he gave. Well, in that breakdown, the spelling was a little bit different. I saw the words Terra as it relates to Luna. I immediately linked it together with Luna and the bee sting dream, as well as the honey pool dream itself. So based on how they broke down the meaning of each part of this video game's name, I saw Terra and I saw Araya. There was an extra A in the breakdown of this word. And when I saw Araya, I thought about my niece. Her name is Araya and her birthday was March 19th. So that is where the March 19th date came from, recognizing that. And so here we are again, looking at March the 19th. And to share this one more time, this January 24th date, and why am I talking about this again? Why am I showing this again? It's because these happen again on the same date. These events happen on the same day. Japan and something to do with Minnesota, as it involved Ilhan Omar. And both of these again are tied to Luna. With that in mind, let's get to this March 19th date. There were two events that took place. Both events will allow us to see BNB Tiger and this Luna combo. On March 19th, event number 1, Japan Prime Minister visited the White House on January the 19th. Again, she represents Luna. And while she was there, the questions came up about the Iran war. There was even a question that was asked to Trump, why wasn't Japan informed? And of course, Trump gave that great reply. All of this talk about this ongoing war with Iran, between Iran, US, and Israel, this brings in the Pentagon, this brings in the BNB Tiger dream, the first one. And now we're looking at a combo all in one place. Luna, BNB Tiger. And so for this reason, I'm seeing more, once again, of events taking place around these individuals, looking more like a combo. March 19th, event number 2. This I was unaware of until someone emailed me. I will take a break right here and say that thank you for all of your comments, emails, encouraging words, and support to this channel. It means more to me and my family than you know. But what they sent me came as confirmation. So I will be sharing their research and whatever spiritual insight God has given them on the topics that they sent me. So this was a part of that. I did not know about this event until this individual emailed me about it. And the event that took place on March 19th was the end of Ramadan. Online it says that it was to end around March 19th through the 20th. March 20th will be a celebration ending this holiday. Ramadan is an Islamic holiday. And the reason that these dates vary as far as when it starts and when it ends is because the Islamic calendar is lunar. And so the start and end is confirmed by sighting of the crescent moon. And when I saw lunar calendar, I thought about Luna, and BNB Tiger ties in with this because we're talking about Islam, referring to Iran, and then that moves us over into the war. Ramadan also reminded me of Ilhan Omar. She, being Islamic Muslim, would be celebrating this holiday of Ramadan as well. That is another connection to Luna. So on March 19th, we had two connections to Luna as it relates to Ramadan, linking Iran again back to the war between the US and Israel, and the Pentagon that links back to the BNB Tiger dream. Now, because this reminded me of Omar, I thought about her backstory. So I began to do some research about that. And I found out that she fled her Muslim country when she was very young. She then migrated to the United States around the age of 12 and 13. This brings us to the first email that I want to share the information that was shared with me. Again, this is their research, their spiritual insight that God has given them, but it all ties together. That is why I say it's very important that we pray together about these things, because God can give you something, give me something, and someone else something. We put it together and it brings about that confirmation that we need as a wealth transfer community to see how God is in the mix with all of this. One will plant, one will water, but God will give the increase. And what he shared had to do with these two videos. The first one had to do with the second BNB Tiger dream. He talked about the husband from this dream, Jamal. This name comes from a long history of Arabic and Islamic culture that immediately put us over, of course, in the Middle East. And because this was a BNB Tiger dream having to do with the Pentagon, having to do with war, the background understanding of his name matches perfectly. It also ties in with the March 19th event, Ramadan. And this brings us to his second point. After hearing that Jamal and his wife was expecting, in actuality, they are, he thought about honeypot. Although the name of my video was honey pool, what God gave him was honey pot. And so he gave me what he found as far as honey pot goes, a trap or a lure used to attract someone or something for a specific purpose. Now, this is not to say anything about their marriage or anything like that. This is just giving you a definition of what honey pot is. Hang tight till you see what he shared with me in the end. It has to do with espionage and also cybersecurity. So it can be used in a bad way and it can also be used in a good way. As far as espionage goes, it's using a person, often romantically, to gather intelligence. As far as cybersecurity goes, it is a fake system or a server designed to attract hackers and study their behavior. Now, when I looked at the portion about espionage, using a person, often romantically, to gather intelligence, that reminded me of the story about Samson and Delilah. When I thought about Samson, I thought about Luna in the bee sting dream. If you watch that video, you know that the a portion of the story about Samson was included in that as it related to the honey, the beehive, the lion. So Luna is attached to, in a sense, that Bible story to me for all of those reasons. And so we have here this couple from this BNB Tiger, this couple from this second BNB Tiger dream, this individual doing his research and sharing this with me. Again, we're looking at another combination here between Luna and the BNB Tiger dream. Something else that he shared about this honeypot was tied to a hijab, that wrap that Muslim women wear covering their face and their heads. Well, he found one in particular that was called honeypot. And this particular one was designed for girls ages 7 through 14. Now, when I saw the ages for this particular product, I thought about Ilhan Omar again and her backstory when she traveled to the United States as an immigrant. She was about 12 or 13. She would have been the individual wearing this particular honey pot wrap. And also this reminded me of the Iranian girls' school that was hit during the first day of the Iran war strike. So now you have, again, another tie between Luna and this war, which is the first BNB Tiger dream, the Pentagon. And the ages of the girls who were at this school ranged from 7 to 12. So they would also fit in this category of wearing this product that was designed for girls ages 7 through 14. And so all that coming together, I could see what God laid it on his heart to share with me. Now, as far as the information on the girls' school and the connection with Ilhan Omar, that was research that I did. He basically showed me and shared with me this honeypot product. When it comes down to the Quran, how honey is looked at as a source of healing. And when I saw this, I thought about Terraria. And how, again, I derived the date of March 19th from this video game after seeing the word Terra. And how that in this game, the pools in this game, the honey pools in this game, was a way for a player to heal or regenerate. Now, because we're talking about the Quran, that immediately takes us back to Iran and Islamic religion and practice, and therefore making another connection between BNB Tiger and Luna. And then he also shared more information as it relates to the Quran, is this place called Paradise, this unique place where they talk about 4 rivers: the river of wine, the river of water, the river of honey, which reminded me of the honey pool, and finally the river of milk. When I saw the honey in the milk, I went straight to Exodus 3 and 8, which says, "And I am come down to deliver them out of the hands of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land into a good land, a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey." So all of these rivers, this place they refer to as paradise, all of this is coming from their Quran. Again, Islamic background tying into BNB Tiger, the Pentagon, the Iranian war, and so on and so forth. I think you guys get it by now. This brings us to the final email another individual sent me. And I want to draw your attention to two of the things that I talked about in that video. One was this Black Panther that we saw walking with her throughout this commercial, as well as the chandelier that was made out of a honeycomb. And we saw the honey dripping from that chandelier. And I told you guys how I immediately thought about the Luna bee sting dream when I saw that chandelier, as well as the honey pool dream. But this individual shared with me something so profound. He told me that after seeing the Black Panther in that video, it reminded him of a YouTube channel that in his own journey with God, confirming things to him as it relates to Luna, he was led to this particular channel. Again, this YouTube channel is all about this Black Panther. And when I went to take a look, sure enough, just as he told me, the Panther's name is Luna. To me, that came as a big form of confirmation that it was meant for me to see this commercial. It was meant for me to see all these things and make this connection, that we're getting very close to seeing what God is going to do with Luna as well as BNB Tiger. Another thing that I noticed is, as I'm writing over and over again, combo, putting together this presentation, that if you take the word combo and you take away the letter O, the last O in that word, you get the word comb. I thought about honeycomb, of course, and I looked at that as another sign of confirmation. And so here we are. Again, we looked at March 19th and how March 19th, they gave us a combo of events as it relates to BNB Tiger and Luna. And one more date that I want to add, I've been kind of back and forth about adding this date. I'm only adding this date of April the 19th because of this video that I shared about the colors and the dream about a war is coming, and how that I used those colors to derive the date of April 19th. April 19th ended up being the birthday to the father of the guy who was killed in the first strike, the first Iranian leader. It ended up being his birthday. And because his son succeeded him, and how so much is centered on all of this, is there a reason for me coming to this date of April 19th? Is it just to confirm something along the lines of this Iranian war between US and Israel has something to do with this third world war, possible world war coming? Or is it something about this April 19th date that we need to be looking out for? So I'm going to go ahead and add that here. Also, in the email that someone sent me, one of the subscribers that I shared in this video, he mentioned the date of April the 18th. If it's our April the 18th, it's most likely their April the 19th. So I'm going to put this on here and pray about it. But that's going to be a new date that I'm going to add. Again, it's his birthday, and we're going to add that here on our timeline. Looking at the next date that we have, it's March 27th. That would have been the due date for the couple, the married couple in my dream. Again, that was the second BNB Tiger dream. Again, it's looking more to me like these dates and the event of both of these coins moving is merging together. And so let's wait and see, keep praying about the dates that we have remaining. If there's anything that you guys want to share as far as dreams or anything that God has given you that ties into what we've been talking about as far as these two coins, please feel free to share. It may take a while for me to get to your emails, but know that I'm reading them, I'm looking at them. I'm seeing your comments in the comment sections, even if I'm not responding right away. This first BNB Tiger dream is still ongoing simply because of the first pentagon. What's happening there is still ongoing. So let's continue to watch as well as pray. Please continue to pray for me as I work through this, trying my best to give you guys what God has given me and trying to explain it in a way where it's not as confusing. But that is all that I have for this video. Until the next one, God bless.